Welcome back, everybody. We're going to take a look at some more stuff with the Digit by Poly Effects. This thing can do so much awesome stuff that I literally can't cram it into one video. So you're probably going to be seeing regular videos with this mighty pink little device. There's just been a firmware update which adds several new modules and basically overhauls the UI. You'll see all of this really soon. So in this video, I'm going to run you over some of my favorite new modules and how I've been using them on guitar, as well as exploring the Bebo firmware. So Digit itself is all designed around time-based stuff, and there is a totally different firmware which you can load in just by going into the settings on here and basically dialing them up, which gives you sort of more of a modulation focused firmware in there for building a whole bunch of crazy effects. And you can really get wild with this thing. It also does some kind of sweet sounding straight ahead thing. So let's get straight into it. Let's get started with a new time stretch block. I like this for a kind of octave up crystal style effect. You can also see the new UI when you press the screen there, and you've got color coded faders. Everything's kind of laid out in a slightly more logical fashion. You've got access to freeze and reverse, as well as controls for pitch, feedback, diffusion, the position of this time stretch delay. There's reverb in there. There's so much you can play around with, but I really like it for this octave up kind of shimmer reverb style effect. And I can also get super weird, which is, of course, one of my favorite things about Digit. Let's load up a block that has got some of the granular effects going on in there, because these are really cool, and the whole granular module I really like. Let's let it load up. I've got a stereo convolution reverb in this patch, as well as an LFO controlling one of the parameters in the granular module. What's really cool is this little LFO select here. This is just so aesthetically pleasing. If I press it correctly, of course, as you can see, you can basically slide between all the different LFO shapes. Let's have a listen to the way I've got it dialed in, then I'm going to play around with it a little bit. Absolutely wonderful stuff. What I'm going to dial up next is this 50 sci-fi preset, and this is kind of really fun. As you can hear, it's a little bit noisy, but this is using the twist delay module, and I've got foot switch A attached to the speed and direction. really wild and super, super fun block, though, is the Bit Mangler. This can do a lot, but I like using it as just a kind of demented, gated fuzz. As you can see, only 4 sliders in there, but this just gets ridiculous. I do have a patch using the Bit Mangler and an envelope filter, which is kind of even wilder. I'll bring that up and show that off to you guys. This one just kind of gets pretty out of control, which I like, this filter fuzz. There's also a whole different set of firmware devoted to modulation called Bebo, which has some choruses, some phases, some other just really cool modulation-focused stuff rather than the kind of convolution, reverb, and delay stuff. I mean, if you take a look at what you've got available in Bebo, you have the algorithmic reverb, you've still got the auto swell, the bit mangler, the delay. There's this really interesting Doppler panner in there, which kind of models a physical space. You've got the cool new granular blocks, the freeze, you've got this J chorus. There's a looping delay, which is also in digit. There's a compressor, there's a phaser, a resonator. I'll try to show off some of those just with a couple of these patches that I've written. This is a pretty just kind of vanilla chorus delay reverb, but I love the way it sounds. That's probably one of my favorite choruses that I've heard in a pedal as well. I'll bring up another patch, which kind of uses the granular block and some other stuff. You know, I've called it Quinoa because quinoa is an ancient grain. That's a bit of a joke going on there. There's an algorithmic reverb, delay, we have this Doppler panner, we've got the J chorus, we've got the granular block in there. This is kind of starting to push the DSP limit, but this is so much fun if you like creative modulation effects. As always, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Really hope you enjoyed the run through of the new things in Digit. I'm going to spend a lot of time with this thing writing some presets that I will share hopefully very soon so that you can get access to all of these if you are a Digit or a Bebo user, because it's kind of just a blank slate for your imagination when it comes to sound design and effects, whether you're a guitar player, a synth player. I've seen people who are using this on other instruments like saxophone. It's pretty fantastic, and it's pretty exciting because I'm sure we're going to see a lot more firmware development in the very near future. Thanks for watching the videos. I'll see you guys next time.